It is DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another stream. I just want to start off by apologising if the background looks a little bit messy. I've done something that I've not done for a while, and I fuller fullery. I'm saying it wrong. I really enjoyed it. So I've just actually had a well. I've kind of had a vinyl mix now. For those of you who may or may not know, I've only got one vinyl turntable. My other one broke. So I essentially fancied a little bit of a house mix and going through some of my vinyls. So I've just done like a vinyl sort of versus digital. So I had one of my CDJs with a USB stick in it, and the other deck was a vinyl deck. So I just mixed the digital into the vinyl and the vinyl into the digital, and yeah, it was really fun. So I've kind of like messed all the bed up because I put one of the CDJs on the bed and some other bits and bobs that was on top of the vinyl turntable, just so I could get to it and move it and get it all turned on and plugged in. But yeah, it was really fun. So anyway, welcome back to another stream, and we've got a couple of updates. I've had a really hectic week, and this week has been a little bit stressful as well. And I've got a couple of updates. I've got a little bit of bad news that sadly turns. It's bad news, and then it sort of turns into good news, but it still doesn't really solve the bad news. But essentially, for those of you who may or may not know, is I was booked in Manchester to MC at an event tomorrow where Billy Daniel Bunter was headlining, and it was celebrating Bonanza's 12th birthday party, and it was set to be a really good night. It was set to be a banging event, a banging show, and I got screwed over. Not by the event, don't worry, it was nothing to do with the event or the brand. But sadly, bad news on my behalf, the railway trains are striking. So yeah, there's no trains running tomorrow, there's no trains running Saturday, and there's been days where trains haven't even been running this week. So without the trains, there was no way of me getting to this event. The layman was booked somewhere else, so he couldn't essentially drive me to the event, which was a little bit of a letdown. I had a look at the coaches, and the coaches were just the times for the coaches were just ridiculous, and there was no way I was going to do a rave till like 4 in the morning and then get up for a coach that leaves at like 7:30, 7:45. And I didn't really, want to just sort of turn up, do the gig, sleep, and then go home. I kind of my vision was to kind of explore Manchester a little bit as well, and just have a little bit of a look around the general area, as I don't get to these places quite often. So I'd kind of planned to make a nice little sort of a little holiday of it, really, like a little weekend away almost, like a one night sort of away, but then sort of have a look round Manchester sort of on the Saturday, and then just get a little bit of a later train back. And like I say, the railway striking just sadly threw that all in the bin. And sadly, like I say, the coach times, the coach coming back was just too early, that I wasn't going to do a rave and then wake up and get the coach. And then also the coach going as well was just early, and I would have just been in Manchester like far too early, that I wouldn't have even known what to do, where to go. And it just didn't go as I planned for it to go. So sadly, I had to text the promoter and say, look, trains are striking, I'll have a look at coaches. And then I had a look at coaches, and I had to sadly tell him that I can't come to your event, which I hate doing. That it's one of the things that I hate doing the most, because I always picture it from a promoter's point of view. So you put this event on, you booked all these artists, and then suddenly someone drops out, and then you've got to try and find someone else. And one thing I really hate as well is like how letting people down at the last minute. Like when it only gives them a matter of maybe hours to find somebody else. When you've got an event the next day, it's a little bit of an annoying thing. Luckily with this event, I was only on a B2B MC set, so I would imagine the MC will just go solo, or one of the other MCs will just jump back on the mic again. So I can't see it being like a mega issue, but I do hate doing it. I hate letting people down, and although I could have essentially tried and got a lift, and I'm sure family would have helped try and get me a lift, but there was nothing guaranteed. And for the sake of trying to get a lift, to then just have to let him down at the last minute, I just thought it wasn't going to be worth it, and I'd rather let him down. Well, I'd rather not let him down, but if I'm going to do it, I'd rather do it in good time for him to put his head on and think, right, who can do the event instead. Do you know what I mean? Who can replace and fill that slot. So sadly, it's just one of them upsetting things. You can't always do them all, and sometimes things just don't go in favour. The goodish news is, well, there's another bit of good news, but the goodish news is me and the promoter were all cool and sound, and I'm gonna do an event of his next year instead, so that he still wants to put me on, and he still wants this sort of B2B that he's visioned in his head to happen, which is really good. So obviously after the new year, when the trains aren't striking, when I can actually get down there, we'll be able to go and hopefully smash the event in. And hopefully, I'll be able to get my way down there without any train strikes. So that's the kind of first bit of good news. So the second bit of good news is all is not lost for a gig. So as I was pulling out of the Manchester one with the train striking, I got a text from a friend of mine who is actually only local in Scunthorpe, who is got an event on tomorrow, and this mad thing has happened again where a DJ's pulled out, and cut the long story short, somebody who's on that lineup to MC actually recommended me and said, you should put this Ash Noble on. And it was good old MC Fergs who hosted me at Reflection in Cleethorpes a couple of weeks ago. So from what I've gathered is he's kind of like put a bit of a good word in, and I've basically been booked to play in Scunthorpe. So tomorrow I'm going to be playing at Frantic, and I'm going to be DJing a bounce set from 10:30 until 11:30, which I'm quite looking forward to. It should be a shed load of fun, and Scunthorpe is not a million miles away, and I can literally go to the top of my road, and there's a bus service that just takes you to Scunthorpe. So we've got no issues of getting there, and I can't wait to go and smash this setting. It's just going to be absolutely fantastic. I put a little set together, sort of started it yesterday when I got booked, and then just sort of went back over it today. And the thing about me and planning sets is sometimes I'll get to the club and I won't even play half of what I planned, and I'll go browse into other folders and play something else instead. But I do like to put something together, just in case, because you might put something together and then you get to the club and then you actually play what you've put together, because it just actually really does fit the night. But I think what I've planned does fit the night quite well, so I will be playing definitely most of what I planned. I might just maybe venture into a few other folders just for maybe like one or two tracks that I think I might rather play instead. But it should be really good. I'm really looking forward to playing. I love playing bounce sets. And massive respect to Nico, DJ Nico, for putting me on. You know, like I say, all is not lost, you know. So I'm doing a local gig to make up, I suppose, for not being able to do the you know, the further away gig. So, you know, we're still doing a gig, and I can't wait to go and smash it up tomorrow. It's going to be a shed load of fun. So yeah. Really good. So one booking changes to another. So sadly, it's goodbye Bonanza and it's hello Frantic. And I do believe I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I do believe not last year. I don't think, or was it last year? No, no, maybe not last year. It was maybe not last year, but the year before. I actually went to a Frantic, I believe, on Boxing Day in Scunthorpe. It might have been last Boxing Day. I just can't fully remember. Um, or maybe it might have been a hard drive then. I can't fully remember, to be completely truthful. But I did go to an event. And I'm sure it was a Frantic, and it was a bank holiday. I know it was bank holiday, but I just can't remember fully what it was. You know, when it was. I just know it was sometime. I'd be able to look back and see. You know, that's no, you know, that's no hard do by. But yeah. So I did go to one, and it actually, to be fair, it was a banging night, and they got quite a few heads in, with it being a Boxing Day as well. And this one, because it's right in town as well, it might attract a few people as well. So we might have quite a good event. I hope it's, you know, it's a good turnout for them, and I'll be there probably from round about the start of the event, showing my face and showing my support. So that'll be good. Looking forward to that, and yeah, it should be good. So yeah. So I had a really hectic week this week, to be honest with you. So quite a lot of things have happened this week, you know, alongside having to sadly pull out from the gig. So you'll know last week I was very ill. I come down with the flu, and as you can tell by this stream, I'm actually a lot better now. I'm just coughing now and again, so it's like a very gradual now and again cough if I've just come back from walking somewhere. I've still got a little bit of it, so I'm getting sort of like short breath. And I do feel the need to cough and blow my nose now and again. But last week I was terrible. So for a good 3, nearly 4 days, I was more or less laid up in bed. The first 2 days I was in and out of sleep. So Sunday I was just in and out of sleep all day. Then on the night I was at Hull Royal Hospital because my breathing had gone really bad. Monday I just did not feel good again at all. I sort of improved a bit at the hospital, and then I got back home, and I had a sleep in the afternoon, and I just absolutely just went downhill again. So Monday I was kind of in and out of sleep, and then Tuesday I had improved a bit to the point where I went and laid down on the sofa downstairs to watch telly, but I didn't really feel too good. But I got a little bit sort of better as the day went on, and I managed to eat something on the night, which was, it was just a bowl of super noodles. And then I came back upstairs, and then I think I did manage to put the PC on, which was a, you know, which was a good thing. And then on the Wednesday, I still missed work because I didn't feel good, and I missed work. But I was quite a bit better by this point. I was like getting up and getting dressed, which was a good thing. And then Thursday, I attempted to go back into work, which was a little bit of a stupid thing. I think it was slightly too early, because I was still coughing quite a bit. I was still burning up a little bit, but I did genuinely feel quite a fair bit better. And then Friday, I had a works thing in the afternoon, which I ended up waking up late. I was still coughing a bit, but I ended up getting there and going there, and then just sort of improved sort of on Friday, and then Saturday I just felt even better, and each day I was kind of gradually getting better to the point where I'm not so bad now. So this week I'm having to make up for the time that I had off last week, which was only a day. I mean, I had 2 days off work, but because we had the works thing on the Friday, they told us to take a day off anyway, and it was my nan's birthday, so I was gonna go and see her on that day, and take that day off, and then actually I ended up falling ill, so I didn't. But that day didn't count because I'd already said I'd take it off anyway. So I technically only lost a day. So I'm actually working tomorrow to make up for that day. But this week we've had a range of different things going on. So Tuesday we had a music lab, and we was practicing for our works Christmas party, and then Tuesday night was a thing called Gig Buddies that I've been attending, which is just something through work, and it's just a little group that I go and join in, and just show my support from Goodwin at their event, and they kind of had like a little bit of a sort of like Christmas party sort of music going on, that kind of thing. So that was enjoyable. Went there, had fun, ended up tapping on a drum. So that was a late night with work. And then Wednesday we had our Christmas party, which was a really good party, but loads of things went wrong. One of them being the lift actually broke, and we ended up having to carry loads of boxes up and down like 3 flights of stairs. That was, like really heavy. They had like loads of like cables and things in them, and like microphone stands, and then there was like big amps and like speakers and things that we couldn't put in the lift and send up the lift because the lift had broke. And then we had everything to set up, and then we had the party itself, which in the afternoon, we let all kids into Goodwin, and there was like activities. There was like retro game consoles that they could play with, like Pac-Man and things on them. There was like a craft table where you can like draw and make things. There was like food going on. There was like face painting and stuff like that going on, with like Christmas music in the background, and then as you were leaving you could pick a present and stuff like that. And after a couple of hours of screaming kids and kids running around and having fun, and then kids coming down and choosing a present, and then the presents start to get low, so I have to run upstairs and get more, and then all the kids start like arguing and fighting, and then some of the little ones get upset because they think there's no more presents, and their older sister got the last present, and then they're almost fighting trying to get a present off each other, and then we're like, chill, there's more presents, and then trying to get pictures of them all with presents and stuff like that. It was really hectic, and one thing that really peed me off is there was a group of youngish lads that had probably been about maybe 10, maybe 11, 12, came to the event, came down all nice as pie, and got presents, took them outside, smashed them up, and told the family that the presents were shit. And the family had like younger little kids who were buzzed off getting a present. So the family actually came back and told us that these lads have just smashed these presents up and said they were shit. But it really annoys me because you try to do something nice, you try to do a good deed, you try to help the community. You give them a little gift, and you share some Christmas spirit. And then you've got kids that just go and smash them up, and just go, they're shit presents, and yeah, they might not be top of the range mobile phones and games consoles, but we're not made of thousands. Do you know what I mean? But the thought's there. We get some little gifts, and we try to do something nice, and you get it thrown back in your face. So yeah, the kids left, and the adults party sort of started, where we had like bands and live music, and our music lab band, so ourselves, we did a little performance. I did a little bit of like Christmas music and DJing in the background while we were like changing between performances. There was a soul band that came on, and they absolutely smashed it. They did like loads of covers of some like great songs, and they were just really good to listen to and watch. And there was a blonde woman who was doing some vocals on a microphone and did some singing that absolutely blew me away. It was absolutely amazing. And then there was also a woman with black hair as well that was also singing as well. And you know, they both had a magnificent voice, and it really sounded good, and it was really good over the music, and everything just seemed to work and fit and sound nice. And you know, when you just sort of stand there and you can just appreciate what you're hearing, it was just so nice. Like I said, they did covers of some amazing songs, which was good. Um, so then, obviously, the party finishes about 8 o'clock, and then we've got to pack everything down. And this is when the lift really breaks, and we've got to carry everything back down so it stops working, full stop. And we end up carrying stuff that we really shouldn't carry downstairs, because we need to get them down and back in the van so they can go back to where they get stored at the polar bear. So we all sort of clubbed in together. We all helped and did our best to try and get it all downstairs, and we did. We managed to get like 2-3 items down in the lift, and then the lift just broke, which was crazy. Then it was up this morning. It was back into work, and it was all hands on deck for packing up. Because we're actually moving office. We're moving out of our location at the Thornton Village Hall. And essentially, cut the story short, we're moving in there tomorrow, so it was kind of like packing loads of stuff up and making up boxes, packing boxes up, getting rid of loads of stuff on shelves, and getting ready for the new people that are going to move in, which I'm not sure what they are. I don't think they're a part of Goodwin though. So Goodwin is actually leaving the Thornton Village Hall. I think we still get the hall upstairs that I'm sort of sure of, and is it ESOL? They're staying there as well. They like help people that can't speak English. They help them like learn English. So we're moving over to the hub, which is where I used to go and sign on. So I'm gonna see some old faces from my very early days of Goodwin before I even got a job there. So people like Alan and Kimberly from HLC, they're going to be in that building. So I'll be seeing a little bit of them, I would imagine. But I'm only there tomorrow to help them move, and then I break off for Christmas. So I get 2 weeks off. So I won't actually be there until next year, essentially, but I'll just briefly see the office as I'm moving stuff into the office, and we'll just be getting set up, and I'll probably start making it look a little bit homely, and take it from there. And it should be good. So yeah, it's just been a hectic week. Loads of things happening with the move, the Christmas party, music lab, the gig buddies. It's been one of them weeks, and then obviously I'm gigging tomorrow night. So it's the old saying, it's the old saying, isn't it? No rest for the wicked. No rest for the wicked. But yeah, there we go. What can I say? So I thought I'd hop live. Let you know about them updates. Sadly, one gig down, and but we have got another gig, and I do want to give a massive shout out to Joe Dukins, just for being so supportive and understanding. Sadly, these things happen. Trains were striking. There was nothing I could really do. It wasn't my fault. I didn't intend on these things happening. Trains striking. But sadly, they did. They were. They were striking, and there was nothing I could really do. There was, I couldn't gig, and sadly, there was just no way that I was able to do this gig. So it was just one of them. But he did say, look, we'll get you one next year, which was, kind of makes up for it. And like I say, I was just, so sort of pleased that, you know, that he won't gonna like bite me head off or something. Because I know essentially he wouldn't bite me head off, but you know when you feel like you're letting someone down, like you know they booked you because they want you at their event and they're real buzzed that you're gonna be at their event, you know, and then you tell them that you can't make it, and then you know it's just, you know, one of them sad things in it, and you know you don't like disappointing people, you know, so it's just one of them. But yeah, anyway, please like, comment, share, subscribe. I have just actually someone's just put a preview of a tune up on Facebook, and the track is entitled "Last Goodbye," and I am about to go off my nut because I've been looking for the vocal for this for ages. If it's the last goodbye that I'm thinking of. So there's a track, Squad E did a hardcore version of it years ago, and for some reason I had it in my head that it was originally like a Clubland or All Around the World Records kind of tune, and I thought it was like, you know, maybe like a Breeze and Styles, or maybe, you know, something like that, you know, where there's like different remixes, and Alex K would have done a remix and stuff like that. But I could never find anything other than a hardcore version and then a bounce version that Luke Hudson had done. And I've always sort of like liked the song, and I've sort of wanted to find the stems and do a little Scouse version of it, and I've just not found it. So I want to see if this is Last Goodbye. It sounds like he's just he's just put like the full thing up as well. Let's have a. Yeah, so it is. Jeez. It's actually an old tune, so he actually remixed this about 4 years ago. Yeah, so it is. I love that. I love the vocal on it. It's they're the kind of vocals that I love. Really powerful, really good. So I'm really, I really like it. Really like it. I've been working on something myself actually. Just tonight I had a well I had an idea for a remix, and then I couldn't find all the parts like to do I found the vocal, and then I couldn't really find any other like decent parts to it. And then I come across a song. Well, I was listening to another song that reminded me of another song, and I looked it up, and I hadn't heard it for ages, and I thought, you know what, I might give this a go, and I've began writing something remix of it. My only issue is I don't like I need like a good melody. So when it drops, I need like a good melody. I'm quite happy with the breakdowns. They're not sounding too bad, but I just don't feel like it drops into something really that good. So I'm a little bit unsure what to do. I wrote something that I thought at first sounded all right, and then I listened to it and I thought, you know what, it doesn't sound good, it doesn't sound right. And then I went back to an old idea, which is what I've got at the moment, and I'm just, you know, it's just to drop the, you know, like the melodies and stuff that essentially I'm just, you know, I'm gonna want to do something with. But yeah, it's a really what can I say? It's a classic. It's definitely a classic if you was into sort of like 2000s sort of era chart tunes. there was a little song that came out that was done by someone very famous, been on TV many a times. Actually, is a judge on Britain's Got Talent as well. And I honestly forgot that it was actually this person that had done the song, but the vocals, it was just something that I always liked, and today just brought back a proper memory. So I'll be working on that most definitely. So before I do go ahead and end off on this stream as well, because I've got to be back in work early tomorrow as well for this big move. But yeah, before I do end off the stream, I just want to say a massive respect to everybody that has been supporting my recent tunes. So, myself and the Layman did a remix of The Real McCoy, Another Night. And then I recently did a remix of Pitbull, Hotel Room Service. And I've been doing a little bit of an experiment, and I've been dropping them in my sets just recently. So I've done a couple of bounce sets, and I've dropped them in my bounce sets, and they've gone off. Another Night, people have been dancing to it. The people have been going off to it. They've been absolutely loving it. And Meet Me at the Hotel Room as well. It's almost kind of like they've heard a tune that they kind of forgotten about, and then they're like, oh yeah, I remember this, and then they actually in the end, like, they think, yeah, I like this. So that's a good thing. So I just want to say massive respect, massive support there when I've been dropping them in clubs, and I'm going to continue to do so. I did submit the Meet Me at the Hotel Room to a label, and I got an email back today to say that sadly it's not something that they'd want to put out, and it's a tough label to get on. I submitted it to quite a big label that are putting stuff up all the time, and I suppose like stuff has to be really good to go on their label, because they're putting that much stuff out, and because they've got so much stuff coming out as well, that they have got to be selective on what they put out. So I suppose something that they might just think sounds good, or maybe it just lacks on a couple of things, because they haven't got the time to say change this up and we'll put it out. They've sadly got to say no, because they're getting that many submissions. Production for me is just a test. I'll just keep trying, I'll just keep writing things, and then if I think that something that would be worth sending to them, I'll send it to them, and then we'll see if they decide to put it up. There's no harm in submitting. I always give things a try, and then there might be something that they'd say, do you know what? Well, this is something that could go on. So you never know. All you can do is try, and obviously I can try some other labels as well. But I just thought, it's easy enough to submit a track, so I'll just submit it. You won't get on if you don't submit, and all you can do is try. And I thought it's been doing all right in the clubs and in my sets and stuff. So I thought, well, you've got to speculate to accumulate, as they say. So I just decided I'd submit it, but sadly, it's not something for them. So we'll keep trying. But I don't know what I'll do with the track, because I definitely want to do something. So it might go on Layman Productions. I might submit it to some other labels, or I might just put it up for a free download for myself, and just let people have it. We'll see. But I do like it, and it is, there aren't many remixes of it about, so I don't know if I really would just want to free download it, or I might just keep it unreleased, who knows. But I would like to do something with it, so we'll see. Anyway, make sure to like, comment, share. Peace out.